Okay guys, we are going to go through the odd numbered problems for factoring by greatest common factor classroom worksheet. For problems 1 through 12, factor each expression using the greatest common factor method. Alright, so what you're looking for is the biggest factor that is in both terms. Okay, this one has two terms, 9x squared and 36. Now a good hint for you is that the thing you pulled out of both can't be bigger than one of the terms. So just by looking at this, the biggest number it could possibly be is 9. Okay, on number 3, the biggest number it could possibly be is 17. It's going to be something 17 or smaller. Here it's going to be something 9 or smaller. Okay, the way we showed you using the lists is you just start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and go up from there to find your factors of 9. When I say factors, I mean what two numbers do I multiply together to get 9? 1 times 9 is 9. 2 doesn't go unevenly. 3 does go unevenly. 3 times 3 is 9. And if you're having trouble finding them, say if the number's bigger, you just do that in your calculator, like 9 divided by 3 gives me 3. 9 divided by 4 gives me a fraction, so I can't use that one. 9 divided by 5 gives me a fraction, and so on and so on. Okay? In this case, these will be the only factors of 9. For 36, we'll do 1 times 36, 2 times what? We'll do 36 divided by 2. It's going to be 2 times 18. I'm trying to get rid of that glare. So we have 2 times 18. Let's do 36 divided by 3. We get 12. 3 times 12. 36 divided by 4. We get 4 times 9. 5 won't work. Gives you a fraction. 36 divided by 6. You get 6. So 6 times 6. And so on. When I do 7, it doesn't work. 8 doesn't work. When I get to 9, it's a repeat. I already have 9 and 4. So once you get to a repeat, you know that you are done. Okay, once I've done that, I have my two lists. What I'm looking for is the biggest number in both lists. So, like for example, they both have 1, but 1's not the biggest number. They both have 3, but 3 is not the biggest number. They do both have 9. Okay? As I said earlier, 9 would have to be the biggest possible number, and 9 actually ended up being the number. So if you're in a rush, say if you don't have time, one thing you could try is looking for one of the numbers themselves to see if it's a factor that goes into the other numbers. Okay. Now that we've done that, let's go ahead and take care of our variables. This one has 2 x's. This one has no variables. So we have enough now to write the answer. The 9, the common factor, comes out, and what do I have left? Well, here we had 9 times 1 gave us 9, so I have 1, and I could not pull out any x's, so I have x squared still. And then here, what was my partner with this 9? 4. 9 times 4 is 36. And since there's a plus sign in the middle there, we have a plus sign in the middle here. So here's our factors. 9 times x squared plus 4. Okay? You can multiply it back in to check your work to make sure you get back to the original. Let's try 3. Factors of 17, really, it's prime. It's only 1 in 17. You could try all the others and they won't work. Factors of 25. We have a few. 1 in 25. 2 doesn't work. 3 doesn't work. 4 doesn't work. 5 and 5 works. And that's pretty much it. Now, if you're not sure, I want to remind you of the calculator way. If you want to make sure you have the right one, you can go to the calculate screen, menu 2 for number, and 5 for highest common factor. Okay? And there you go. You get that. Some of them may not say factor. Some of them may say highest common divisor or something. Greatest common divisor. Mine has a different update evidently. So I put in my numbers, 17, and I put a comma, 25, It tells me the biggest number that goes in both is 1. So we can't pull out any numbers, really. What can we pull out? This one has 1x. This one has 2 x's and a y. They share an x. So I can factor out an x. What do I have left? Here I have 17. I took out the x from that one. Here I have minus 25 x y. I took out the other x's over there. Let's try number 5. Number 5, we have 3x to the third power plus x. Well, this is actually easier. We don't have any numbers to worry about. All we're taking out is an x. This one has 3 x's. This one has 1x. They both share at least 1x. I'm taking out the 1x. What are my leftovers? I have 3x squared because I took one of them away. Now what do I have if there's nothing left? That 1 that's usually invisible, we have to write out because it's all that's left. So when you factor it out, you have x times 3x squared plus 1. Number 7, we have negative 12x squared minus 24x to the fourth. Again, the biggest number, or you look at the smallest number in your problem, the factor that you pull out can't be bigger than that. In this case, 12 is the biggest possible number I could use, and 12 does go into 24. So I could write out my factors of 12, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4, and I could write out my factors of 24, 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6, and then when I get to 6, it goes back to 4. But take a look, the biggest one in both lists is 12. So like I said earlier, a good starting place is to look at the numbers you have in the problem. If the smallest number goes into all the other numbers, in this case it does, that is your factor. Okay, 12 is the biggest number in both lists. Okay, so let's pull out the 12, but we also have 2 x's on this one, 4 x's on this one. So they both share 2 x's. So I'm going to pull out the 12. Okay, and then I'm going to pull out the 2 x's, 12x squared. So when I multiply that back in, what do I have? I have negative 1 here, and here I have negative 2x squared. The signs are a little tricky. Watch your signs. You have to make sure you have negatives in the middle. So once you do that, that's what you have in there. Okay, number 9, we'll do it real quick, and then I may have to do the other ones on another video because I ran out of time. The biggest number in both is 2, the 2 is the smallest number. My factor can't be bigger than 2. It happens to be 2. They also share an x. This one has 2 x's, this one has 1. So I'll pull out the 2, I pull out the x, I have x, because 2x times x is 2x squared, and I have 2 times what is 6? 2 times 3 is 6. The x is already pulled out, so this is it. Let's do one more, and then we'll just leave off the bottom ones. Okay, we have 4x fourth, 20x third, 12x squared. 4 is my smallest number. Does 4 go into 20? Yes, 5 times. Does 4 go into 12? Yes, 3 times. So 4 happens to be my number. 4. And then I have 4 x's, I have 3 x's, and I have 2 x's. They all have at least 2 x's. So I pull out 4x squared. 4x squared, what do I have left over here? I have 2 x's, the 2 that I did not circle. What do I have left here? Well, 4 times 5 is 20. I have 1 uncircled x. And here, 4 times 3 is 12. And I don't have any x's that are not circled. So there's that one. Okay, for these, all you're going to do, they give you the number that's pulled out, that's factored out. You have to figure out what goes in the blank. We have time, I think. 4 times 5x is 20x, and that works. So 4 times what is 12y? Well, 4 times 3 is 12, right? 4, 8, 12. There's your 3. Now we have to get a y somewhere, so there's my y. And then lastly, we have 2b to the 4th plus 5b. So we have b that we pulled out. What is left? We have 2b to the 3rd. b times 2b to the 3rd gives me 2b to the 4th. Okay? And then when you multiply the b over here, you get the 5b. Okay? So we're still pretty new at this. We'll do more practice and ask us questions in tutoring or in class.